Good evening, Freedom fans. Tonight's Freedom Face-Off is with the 52-kilogram USA Freedom Champion, Ashley Blanco, and the West Coast prodigy out of Boxing Works, Caia. Without further ado, let's invite both ladies into the live. Caia, you're also now invited. Hi, champ. How are you, ladies? Okay, so without further ado, let's start this. Can you hear me or no?
I can.
I can't hear you, Ashley. You can hear me, Caia?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, Rami.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I like the hair.
Thank you.
So while we'll wait for Ashley to come back in, let's introduce you to our Freedom fans.
Yeah.
Okay, please introduce yourself.
Hey, guys. I'm Caia, fighting out of Boxing Works in Los Angeles. Excited to be here.
Okay, so tell us, Ashley, you good?
Oh, no.
Caia, you can hear me though, right?
Yeah, I
Caia,
can.
you can hear me, but you can't. Are you connected to Bluetooth or something? Bluetooth. Good morning.
Got it.
There you go.
Hey, nice.
Sorry. It was connected
I
to
knew
my
you was
headphones.
connected to Bluetooth. That's probably what it was. All right, so we're asking Caia about how she started. Ashley, tell us when and how you started.
Okay, so I started a little bit over 3 years ago. I began for a lot of reasons, but I'm sure as a lot of people in the Muay Thai community or just in fighting in general, I started because of mental health stuff. And so, yeah, I started 3.5 years ago, and I've loved it ever since.
Oh, no.
She froze. This is
Uh-oh.
interesting live already. All right. We'll wait for her to come back. Caia, please tell us, when did you start?
Yeah, so I took my first class at Boxing Works actually in 2013. I didn't really start training there really until like 2015 or something though. Started because my dad was into MMA and I sort of wanted to get into something like that, but wasn't too into like jujitsu or anything on the ground. And Boxing Works happened to be right next door to where my dad was training. And ever since then, I've just been with them.
So
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. Ray is telling us to tell you to get out of that closet.
I can't go anywhere else. There's stuff happening upstairs. It'll be loud like yesterday's live. I can't.
No problem. No problem. It's good right now. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yes.
So, Caia, when you first, you told me you started about like 2015?
Yeah, something like that.
When you started, how old were you?
Like 19 or something like that. Yeah.
Did you think you were gonna be fighting?
I didn't know at first. I think I'd see some of the people fighting out of Boxing Works, and I thought it was a cool idea, but I don't think I really like knew I wanted to fight until like a couple years later. Yeah.
Same question for you, Ashley. Did you think you were gonna you started through about 3 years ago? Did you think you were gonna be here?
Absolutely not. I was like on a completely different path in life. I was definitely not doing the right things. I was, I guess, kind of to society standards doing the right things, you know, like the 9 to 5 and then going to school at night, that kind of thing. But I definitely didn't think I was going to fight. If you ask the people I used to be friends with, if I would ever do this, if you asked them 3 years ago if I would ever do this, they'd be like, absolutely not. Ashley, no way. But, you know, things happen. I'm blessed, like so truly blessed to have found this, because this, like, it's like a true purpose.
That seems to be the case with a lot of fighters. Anybody, if you guys have any questions you want to ask these ladies, feel free to comment. Any questions you might have. If you want to be live with them, feel free to request to be in. I have a question for you, to both of you ladies. First, I'll ask it to Caia. Caia, why do you think that a lot of women, and I think this is the case at least over here in the East Coast, women start training, but it takes a while before they become like fighters, at least from the ones that end up fighting. Most of the women that I've seen in the sport, they're not like as quick to be a fighter, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, it's not like if you see them in the beginning, they never showed you that they wanted to fight, and then before you know it, they're like the fighter in them comes out.
That's interesting.
Has that been the case when, like, in the gym with you?
I think so. From what I've seen, I don't. Well, in my gym specifically, we don't let people fight, like, you know, when they first join. My coach is very, like, you know, he wants to have you like spar and get used to everything like long before you're in the ring. But I think just females in general are maybe more thoughtful with what they do.
I like that word. I like that word they used. Very smart right there. Very smart.
Not saying that men aren't thoughtful and don't think about
women look smarter. I see what you did there.
But I think that was my experience, at least, is that you know, I thought about it for like longer than I acted on it, and I don't know if that's necessarily the right path or the wrong path, but that's what I think, at least.
How about you, Ashley? Have you seen that to be a case with you on your side?
Yeah, I just think that there's a stigma around women in fighting in general. So I think that, you know, on top of the fact that, yes, women are more cautious for sure. I just think that there's like this stigma that like women need to take their time. Women aren't as good, you know, in certain people's eyes. So yeah, I just feel like because of the stigma, it's a little bit harder for women to break out into the world of fighting. On top of the fact that there is a scarce amount of opponents. I've had many teammates that are trying to get their first fight in, but there's just not enough women like in the sport to give as many opportunities as men. Like you see to every 2 to 3 women on a fight card, if that. Like you're lucky if that. For every 2 to 3
if you see
women
that,
on a fight card,
that's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like if that 2 3 is like a good amount of women on a fight card. Like for every 2 to 3, there's like 10 or 11 male fights. So it's just like, it's definitely like a scarcity, I would say, if that's a word, of female opponents, on top of the fact of the stigma around females fighting.
Now, let's go talk about this fight. Can we see that hardware that you got on you?
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's tuning in, this is why we're here. This is going to be the biggest first show of the year, and we are having 2 of the best fighters soon for the world, soon to be in the world. We have Caia, knows out of the Boxing Works, and we have the United States of America Freedom Champion, Ashley Blanco. I truly believe that you are 2 of the best, not in the country, but in the world. And I want to thank you for allowing me to show you off to the world, first off. There isn't a lot of women in the sport. So I try to bring a lot of attention as much as I can, even I go out like a little bit extra, just because I hope, right? I hope, just probably like you ladies, it brings more attention to women, and then it opens up other women, be like, yo, I want to do this. I want to step in the gym.
1,000%.
You know, I want to get in the gym and start training. And who knows, maybe it'll be like, I want to go from training, I want to step in the ring. I don't want to be like her. You know, because let's be honest, that's how a lot of us came to this. You know, we got attracted by somebody, we're like, I wanna be like that person, you know, and I want to do that. So that's why I try to bring that, and I hope that the world is watching. January 28th, two of the best fighters in America are coming to perform. Caia, you represented the Team USA in the biggest tournament in the world, IFMA. What would you say your biggest accomplishment was in your career?
In my career in general, I think it would be going to IFMA and fighting there, even though was unsuccessful in the fight. I think, you know, going out there alone, like I didn't know you, Rami. I didn't know anyone on the team really. And then fighting against a woman with much more experience than me, it really showed, you know, what I could accomplish. And that seriously was still like the best trip and the most eye-opening experience in my whole career.
You see how, like you said, like, yes, you lost to the FMA, but you gained, you know, like you gained probably more than all of your wins in your career.
Oh, totally. Most definitely.
And I truly believe that was a successful moment for you. Just like you just said. I remember, you know, being in your corner and then seeing what you did. It's if you guys haven't seen what the level of it is, you will never know the true value of it until you're there.
Yeah.
So you would say this was your biggest accomplishment, being on the IFMA team, fighting over there against those type of athletes?
Yeah, totally. Bigger than any other belt that I've won or anything like that, for sure.
That's definitely what I would have to agree with you. That competition is at the top. It doesn't get bigger than that. Same question to you, Ashley. What would you say your biggest accomplishment?
You know, mine's a little bit different because I would probably say my biggest accomplishment was when I got this belt, I faced a girl that I faced in the past on Freedom. And the first fight was unsuccessful. And it was really hard for me. It was hard to take the loss. It was hard for me to feel that. And yeah, so I think that my biggest accomplishment was coming back better, coming back stronger, adjusting myself, and just realizing that you learn more from your losses than from your wins. And this was like my biggest example of that. And that's why I would say that probably just the facing of the same opponent the second time and how much I grew is probably my biggest accomplishment.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Definitely takes a lot for a fighter to come in against somebody that beat us, right? No matter how you want to look at it, whether you got robbed, whether it was a close fight, you know. I hope everybody's listening, right? You see it sometimes. I know that both of you ladies probably have seen this before. You either win or you learn, and that is like, I don't want to say hate it, but it's like one of the things I'm so against. When I see a fighter or a coach say you either win or you learn, and today we learned. No. If you lost, you have to say those words. Because why? You have to say those because it's gonna make this tougher, and if you don't, you're gonna play the victim game, right? And what happens when you play the victim game? You don't truly learn the wrongs that you did. Like you said, you bettered yourself from the first time, right? When you faced that girl, Ashley, and you fixed it, and you became stronger. And I actually saw it. I didn't see it in your technique. I did see it in your technique. But what I mean is, I saw it more that you changed in your demeanor.
Yeah.
In your face. I saw it in your face. I saw it in your actions. Yes, obviously your game plan was a lot better. But what gave it away is that you changed is your attitude. With that said, you're now the USA Freedom Champion. You're coming back to defend your belt, you know, against not just anybody, but against Caia Knowles, who's a member of the Team USA, and you're coming to show the entire country that you are the best in the country. What's your mindset in training camp and fight camp? 9 days out.
Lots of confidence. There's a lot of confidence in my mindset. There's a lot of obviously like game planning. I'm trying new things. And yeah, I think like my mindset as any fighter should be, I mean should have, is I'm unbeatable. Like I'm at this point, like from here on going forward, like I'm able to take on anything that the my opponent's giving me. So yeah, that's pretty much my mindset. Just lots of confidence.
Same question a little bit to you, Caia. You're fighting the United States champion in basically her area in her hometown. What's your mindset coming here to the East Coast to take that belt from Ashley?
Yeah, I'm confident in my skills and, you know, in the mistakes I've made and the ways that I've gotten up from them. And I think it's kind of fun that, you know, I'm coming over to the East Coast and I'm not going to be the crowd favorite. I don't know. I think it's a little fun. I like in your post, it's like, oh, is she going to upset the entire East Coast?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, love upsetting people.
You gotta talk it. You gotta talk it. Listen. If you don't believe in yourself, all your training, all the miles, all the sit-ups, all the push-ups, all the pad work, all the stress you go through, won't be nothing. You gotta believe. Like, you gotta be your number one fan. Like, if there's anybody that's more a fan to you than your own self, I think as a fighter, that's dangerous.
100%.
Because if you are, you're actually like so dangerous. And I think that's the best weapon for a fighter to have, is that confidence. And I'm not overconfident, not being cocky, but you know what I mean. We have a couple of questions. Let's go to the questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them or message them. So the first question was sent by Madison. What is your plans? I asked it to both of you. Ashley first. What is your plans with this going pro, getting any particular title? Like, what's your plan with this fighting career?
My career in general this year, or just like overall?
They didn't say, but you know, what's your plan with this?
I would probably say, if you would have asked me this question like 5 fights ago, or even like a year ago, I probably would have been like, oh, like, we'll just see where it goes. Really, really like kind of like trying to downplay it. But I've always had very big aspirations. I see the work that I put in. I know the type of like grit that I have, and I would love to one day obviously I want to become professional, and then one day get to the highest stage, which would be one. I hope to be a one world champion at one day. And if not that, I hope to get to the highest success level that I'm able to. But I speak lots of things into existence, and that's one of the things I speak.
You can do that. You can make it to one. You know, whatever you say, you can do.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, as a fighter, right? This is to you guys, to you ladies, and to anybody else. If you want something, you gotta have a plan. You can't just say, I'm gonna work hard for it. You gotta have a plan, and you gotta like these steps, like you gotta literally write them down. Why, right? Because when you write them down, you're gonna hold yourself accountable to it. Because when you don't do step one, you can't be like, I gotta go to step three, because you didn't even do step one yet. And my recommendation to you, that's something that helped me in my career, is to write what you want down. You gotta know what you want, and you gotta know how to get there, and then you gotta write that shit down. So that way, when you don't do step one, you can't even think about step two. You can't be on Instagram and see like a hype motivational video and be like, oh, I gotta get there. You didn't even do step one yet. You gotta do step one, step two, step three, check them off, you know, and then you're gonna get where you want. And a recommendation to you ladies, you know, you want to get to a particular place like one, you make sure that people know your name. And this is something that a lot of fighters don't do enough. You got to promote yourself. Going back to what? Being your number one fan. You got to promote yourself. You got to make sure that everybody knows you. Same question to you, Caia.
The plans.
What do you plan on becoming a pro fighter, getting any particular place in this career?
Yeah, so I think my most immediate plans is to get back on the national team, fight for IFMA again, and medal for the U.S. That would be priority number one for me before going professional. I do want to have like as many amateur fights as I can before I, step into the professional realm. I look up to like Tierra, who had like 50 amateur fights or something before she finally went pro. Like, I think an amateur career like that would be amazing. And then going pro. Yeah.
Another question. This one is from Nyla. Let me go back to this question. After winning the fight, is there anyone in specific that you would want to fight for the title defense? To both of you. First, Ashley.
No, I don't have anybody in mind. I just kind of
no disrespect to anybody,
No, I really don't. I promise. I actually have lots of plans for this year. Starting with possibly getting on the national team and that kind of thing. So I have those plans in mind. So, taking it one step at a time. One step at a time for me. I'm young. Good. I'm able to take my time with that.
Same question for you, Caia. Is there anyone in specific that you would like to fight after this?
Yeah, I don't have like a name in mind. Anyone.
Another question. This one is from the World Freedom Champ, Jabril, who's also on the card. To each fighter, what do you think your opponent believes their path to victory is, and why won't that work against you? Ashley first. What do you think?
Probably maybe staying on the outside. Maybe probably your right hand, I would say, maybe. Path to victory. But other than that, I just think that we're probably just going to go in there and bang, the usual. So I'm ready for whatever it is, what it is.
Same question to you, Caia. What do you think? Is?
That's a good question. And I think the question it leads to what do you think your opponent's strengths are?
Yeah.
Right? If I'm thinking of it
basically,
right.
Yeah.
And from the clips and everything I've seen, you look like you have good forward pressure and good strong left kicks. So I think those are some tools that you'd use.
Maybe.
going off of that same question before we go back to the questions. So Ashley, knowing what you know about Caia, how do you plan to face that?
I would probably say head movement if it's the right hand. Yeah, I just think that head movement. I'm assuming head movement, moving a lot probably, and that forward pressure of mine usually does the trick.
You're planning on having some good movement and obviously using your strength of forward pressure. Caia, know what you know about Ashley. How do you plan on facing that?
I mean, good offense, good defense, and counters.
This is a hard question, Robbie.
I know it
is. It is. But let me tell you something. You wanna know these things, right? Even off this, you wanna know about your opponent. A lot of fighters, and again, this is my opinion. Obviously some people disagree, but you see a lot of fighters in this game, right? They be like, "Oh, I don't want to study my opponent. I just go in there and I do my thing, and I focus on me." You're right. You want to focus on you. But my opinion, right, just like every other top athlete in the world, talking about the top in soccer, in football, like real football and baseball, basketball, what do? They study. You have to study your opponent. You got to know what they do. You got to know what they like. In the beginning, coming up as a fighter, that you can get away with not really knowing, because why? They're still changing, but when you get to where you are, by that time, your opponent has made their style, and they have some habits, some good, some bad. So it's very important. Next question. To both, where do you draw your inspiration from, especially when the going gets tough? Ashley.
Okay. I was asked this question last time that we were on live, and I'll give the same answer that I gave last time. I usually I don't like, there's no fighter that I aspire to look like, and there's nobody that I aspire to be like. I draw inspiration from my downfalls and the things that I've gone through in life. Only I would know the feelings that I felt in those times. So I usually kind of muster that up. And from that, I tell myself, like, do another round, do another mile, do more pad work, do more bag work. Like, that's where I get my inspiration from. I'm very self-motivating in that way, because without me, I wouldn't be here, right?
Same question to you.
Honestly, it's pretty similar. I think to all the times that I quit and that, you know, I hated myself and I've always like had done the wrong thing and how much I don't want to be that person anymore. And I feel very inspired by that, like how I've changed my life.
Great answer so far. We have another question. Ashley, this is from Jelani. Also USA champion. He's now turned pro. Ashley, in your first title defense, do you think a stoppage is mandatory?
No. No, I do not think that a stoppage is mandatory. I think that opens up for a lot of mistakes. And if it happens, it happens, but it's not something that I'm looking for. So no, I don't think it's mandatory.
Great answer. Great answer. Another question from World Freedom Champion Ahmed Alatma. Do you study your opponent for the fight, or do you stick to your own game? Let's go with Caia.
So I've seen clips of Ashley, and mainly my coach studies my opponents and creates a game plan for me. And he gives me the lowdown on like what he thinks he sees from it. And he'll also send me clips if, you know, I need to watch anything, but I really just listen to my coach.
Thank you to Abu Khawaja. Abu Khawaja is in the house. Thanks for the respect, brother. And I agree, and I'm glad you agree. You know, film is very important, I believe, and you should basically kind of leave it in your coach's hand to do the most of the studying. Why? Because some fighters, I'm not saying all fighters, but some fighters, they tend to I don't know what's the word, worry, or, you know, just like focus on that one thing that they saw, right? And,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you ladies might agree with that. So like, it's, you know, that could actually hurt you. You're too focused on that one thing, and then come fight time, you're like waiting for that thing to happen, right? And it's just before you know it
happens.
Yeah. So with this said, you are two of the best women in the country, and you're coming to make a statement. Without a doubt, both of you are coming to make a statement. One is coming to show America and the Muay Thai world why you are the United States champion. And two, Caia is coming in to show that you're deserving to be the USA champion, to make sure that everybody knows that's your spot and that's why you were in Team USA. So like, you got to know these things about these women. These women are coming to show their worth. They are truly the best of the best. Somebody in the comments said the fans are the winners of this fight. And I agree, man. Like, both of you are such great athletes, and I'm really, like, when I say this, you are a great representation of women in Muay Thai, and I hope that more women like you are shown and prosper in the sport, because that's what we need to make women Muay Thai to get bigger and get stronger. We need more of you two. Make sure that you guys support these two women, Caia Knowles and Ashley Blanco. They are great representation of women Muay Thai, especially for USA Muay Thai. Would you like to say anything, Ashley, before we head out to your family and friends?
No, I just hope everybody comes out and supports. I think that it's going to be a great night of fights. I think that me and my opponent are going to put on an amazing show. So yeah, I think everybody should watch, and I think it'll be really good.
Same thing for you, Caia. Would you like to say anything to your family or friends? Anybody?
Yeah, just thank you to everyone who supports me. Really means the world. And thank you, Rami, again, for bringing me out. This is an amazing opportunity.
It's my pleasure. I will support you too anytime. No matter what happens in this fight, you have my word. If you ever call, I will answer, and I will do my best to keep you busy in anywhere, any show that you see for Freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, Caia knows Ashley Blanco, two of the best women in the division in the world, not the USA, in the world, are going to be on Freedom 11. Make sure you support them. Freedom is coming. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.